You know, the feeling when there's this moment when you have an idea and it's just floating through your mind. Well, this is what I just had. I was doing yoga, and one of the topics that I hear very often these days from the people I work with suddenly developed. So the topic is time. How can I get more time? And just yesterday, I said jokingly in a conversation, said, I can do a lot of things for you, and I can support you with a lot of things. The thing I can't do is to give you more time, because, hey, then everybody would knock at my door and asking me for more time. The question now is, how can we win more time in the day, right? So what can we do? And the answer is not increased efficiency, or not only. It's great when we're efficient. I assume when you're in a leadership position, you're efficient anyway, because you had to become very efficient, so doing things in the right way so that they are really off your table as quickly as possible. So within a few minutes, there were about, let me have a look, 12 things springing to mind, and I made a quick note of them, and I might write a post about it too. However, I decided just to record a little video, so to just grasp the moment of inspiration, so to say. So number one of winning time is simply say no more often, right? Just if these demands are coming towards you, and if you're like me, there are probably lots of demands from many people, and some of them are really important, some of them are urgent, some of them might be important, urgent, and they're still not mine, right? So we got to learn to differentiate here, and sometimes simply to say no. Number two, be clear on your needle movers. So what do I mean by that? What is really helping you to progress? And this can be in business or in your personal life, doesn't matter. I just said I did my yoga. Yoga is a needle mover for me because it keeps my body mobile. I just feel better with it. So for my health, this is a needle mover. For my business, the needle movers are typically completely different. And I got to be clear about it, to focus on them, not to lose sight of them. Number three, if you are working in an organization, you might have a boss or you might have a team. With either, I highly suggest to define very clearly what the common success is for you. So when are you successful, so that you have an alignment on that, and you are very clear about what has to be done and what has not to be done. Because more often than not, we interpret something, or we don't communicate clearly with our team what this means. And so we have these ongoing conversations, discussion going back and forth, and this costs a lot of time. Number four, very much connected with that, learn to communicate clearly. Say what you mean. Don't talk around it. And create clarity. Even if you're the receiver of communication, in a conversation, ask questions. Make sure you really understand what is going on, what is asked of you, what you're expected to do or not do. Again, saves a lot of time when we communicate clearly. Number five. This might be controversial. I say it anyway. Knock off 50% of your meetings. They're pointless anyway, right? It often appears that, oh, I'm so important, I'm invited to so many meetings, and they are simply useless. There is no result, and maybe you can't even contribute to it. Just knock them off. Just say no, unless you are very clear that you can contribute something or really take something out, which is worth your time, right? Because sometimes what you take out, you could the information you could get in a little email, right? And then reading that takes you 2 minutes, 3 minutes, not an hour of meeting time. So just get rid of them. Be more critical and selective of what kind of meetings you hold and what kind of meetings you accept. Number 6, call instead of email. I love writing, and it's so easy because sometimes we can't reach people. And, you know, if that's the case, you can still write an email. Otherwise, just call. I've noticed that with my daughter, we communicate a lot, and sometimes, you know, WhatsApp, writing message, and eventually it's like, come on, let's FaceTime, just exchange the information or have a chat about this much, much quicker than all the typing. And then it's also a block time. It's not interrupted by anything. So that was number 6, call instead of email. Number 7, reduce what you are working on at the moment. More often than not, we have so many things to do that we start working on a lot of different things. And we all fall into this trap. We start working on it, we get interrupted, we might, you know, somebody might place a demand, we start something else. So stop starting and start finishing, right? I say that again. Stop starting new things and start finishing what you've got on your plate, unless something comes around the corner, which is really super urgent and important. Yeah, most of the stuff that comes towards us isn't really. Typically, I would say don't work on 3 to 5 things in parallel, on more than 3 to 5 things in parallel. It's a permanent recalibration, right? And there are tools of how to monitor ourselves, how to do that. So get the stuff over the finish line, you know, instead of starting new things. Number 8, delegate intelligently, right? You don't need to do everything. This is also connected with number 1, saying no, right? Sometimes you just get things on your table which are simply not yours, or you could delegate to somebody else. So use this tool. Connected with that is also don't micromanage. You know, if you're a leader and you feel the need to control your people in literally everything they're doing, you can ask yourself the question, do I have the right people? Or am I going on about my team in the right way? Do I trust them that they can actually do their stuff? So stop micromanaging, start trusting that people deliver their stuff, and you can still react if they don't and take measures accordingly. In the first place, you know, leave them with their work. Get the stumbling blocks out of the way if you're a leader of a team, and then leave them be, right? You hired them for a reason, or they're in your team for a reason. And I'm looking down because I made these notes before. That was number 9, don't micromanage. Number 10, lose perfectionism, right? Gosh, everybody, literally everybody I work with tells me they are self-declared perfectionist, and most people are even proud of it. And they somehow they know it's in their way, and it eats away at that time. And still, they wear it as a badge of honor, and it's not. It takes a lot of time, right? And being perfect or trying to be perfect often is connected with being afraid of not delivering a piece of work that is good enough, right? Fear of failure. So I'm working on it again and again and again, and I'm filing here, a word there, etc. Whatever it is, often totally necessary. Rather go for good enough. And if that creates you some rumbling in your tummy, and I was like, oh, good enough is not good enough for me, right? Go back to what is the common success? You know, when are you successful? Look at this definition again, and you might find out good enough is actually really good enough. If you have a bit of buffer in time, strive for excellence, right? And probably you're doing it anyway. Not for perfectionism though. Nothing's perfect. So just drop it. Number 11, a plan. I know plans are often don't work out, right? However, if you make it a habit to look at your week, what are my needle movers? What really has to be done? What am I focused on? Then and put it into your calendar, like block-wise, for example. You know, that gives you a framework, that gives you an idea, at least a rough structure to work on, and you can still react to stuff that comes around the corner, like urgencies, etc. You know, hopefully not too much. However, a rough plan helps, you know, to not be overwhelmed eventually or run out of time doing things. And number 12. Last but not least, be intentional. Be intentional every morning. How are you going into the day, right? What is your, what's your mood? What's your intention for how you would like to feel in the day? And if you have a plan, you know, you can even take the time when you have a coffee or a tea or whatever your poison is in the morning to go through the day and see, how do I deal with that, right? What's my intention here? If you participate in meetings or have arranged a meeting, what is my intention here, right? And so you can break this down. You can have an intention for the day. You can have an intention for each of the steps you take during the day, right? So you don't stumble through it, first of all, and secondly, you don't take the energy of what you've done before into the next one. You know, these back-to-back meetings a lot of people have, you know, they come out of one meeting, their head is still busy, brain is still busy with stuff that was discussed there. They stumble into the next one. They're not even prepared, right? Nor do they have an intention for the meeting. Lost time, quite honestly. Skip the meeting, pointless. So if we set these intentions, totally different result, and you win time because you're there, you're present, right, in this very moment. And the intention setting is even in the personal life, right? I'm spending an hour of time with my kids now, and I'm here. I'm not in the last meeting with my thoughts. I'm not ahead in the next, thinking about the next day. No, I'm here. I'm intentional, right? And the result will be, if nothing else, a feeling of having more time, of winning time, of being here in the time. So let me know what you think and what you've applied, what was new for you, or what other tips you have for winning time and being more relaxed every day. So I hope this is useful for you, and yeah, I'll see you soon.